First and foremost, art is the rising star of civilization history, embraced by both developed and developing societies, enriched by diversity within itself and around it. It is our vital focal point, our lifeblood that addresses society, draws lessons from the past and the present, and carries them forward into the future, opening the doors to centuries ahead on strong and solid foundations. In artistic work, a critical perspective is essential. Artistic efforts, explanations in written or spoken form, when carried out with a critical perspective, first develop the individual, then the family, and ultimately the society, shaping its future. From a political standpoint, since the social and political context can be directly or indirectly connected to art, the critical perspective essentially becomes the messenger to society, especially in painting, music, sculpture, theater, and literature. It is this socially and politically charged perspective that delivers the message. To explain further, among the most important artistic methods present in our daily lives are caricature and theater, which process politics and political understanding through a critical lens in the most effective way. Our master artist Levent Kirka's political characters and sketches are important examples of how developments in social and political life can be conveyed with serious depth, tone, and style. Music, on the other hand, can be associated with social policy. Developed and developing societies alike express their reactions, opinions, or social consciousness toward political issues through artistic expression. Nations that strengthen and enrich their opposition with rational, logical, and powerful criticism are able to stand tall thanks to their broad and steadfast critical perspective. It must also be clearly stated that the term critical perspective should not be automatically associated with negativity. Both positive and negative criticism, depending on the context, are rationally valid and acceptable. The individual must never detach themselves from art and politics, because both arise from the very center of individuals and the societies they form. Social policies, which aim for equality among individuals and sustainable order within families and society, are better understood and more open to development the more they are researched, and actively lived. Examined in detail, art as a whole, with its critical perspective, certainly possesses healing power. When the message of art within social and political contexts is used in the right direction, it also gains a legitimate and powerful force. Influenced by and benefiting from many cultures, art must first create within the individual a logical network and internalized sense and a thoughtful and intellectual message, so that its political meaning, social and political alike, can be effectively conveyed to one's surroundings, community, and the outside world in accordance with the principle of neutrality. If an individual with an open perceptual mindset is to create a message in the intellectual and conceptual sense and then share it socially and politically, they must be careful to adhere to the principle of neutrality. Art, with its diversity and similarities, is a highly influential and qualitative act that embraces all of society. An individual should always learn to express both positive and negative reactions through art. Since social and family responsibilities directly fall under the guardianship of social policies, the individual must receive the necessary care and support. The political message conveyed by art is open to debate, and perception may differ from person to person. It is unreasonable to expect everyone to interpret it the same way. Art is rooted in originality and freedom. Art that lacks originality and freedom is not generally well received when it attempts to convey social and political messages. Just as in every principle and discipline, art and social or political policies also have their own rules. Art must always be original. Social and political policies, in turn, are generally expected to be equal, just, and sustainably functional. Art is humanity's common language. Art is universal. Alongside my remarks, art, social, and political policy carries the traces of history, deep-rooted culture, and civilization. These traces serve as important documents. As impactful records, they inform our lives and help individuals become more conscious in the areas of art, social, and political policy. A critical perspective, along with the awareness of the individual, will undoubtedly provide great benefits to society in historical, cultural, artistic, social, and political terms. When the questions why, what, for what reason, are adequately explained and understood, the message conveyed from the individual to society can be considered valid. If not, then, as in the past, Political messages can still be humorously shared today through the critical perspective. In humor, caricature and theater hold primary importance. It must not be forgotten. The message and purpose of art within social and political policies is to seek a critical perspective, enabling the ability to interpret these policies.